Abu Dhabi is embarking on a critical journey of education transformation to build a society that is in a constant pursuit of knowledge, self-improvement, and intellectual development. To tell us more, we are joined today by Dr. Rafiq Makki, Executive Director, Planning and Strategic Affairs at Abu Dhabi Education Council. Welcome to INSEAD Knowledge.
Pleasure to be with you.
How do you envision Abu Dhabi being an education hub for the region?
I think you become an education hub by building excellence, by having programs that are well aligned with the needs of the industry, both locally and regionally. Abu Dhabi believes firmly that great nations are built on great schools and great universities. And 3 years ago, it began the most dramatic educational reform in its history. The reform touches all aspects of the education system. In fact, Abu Dhabi is overhauling its K-12 education system to be in line with what is needed in the 21st century to graduate the kind of students that can enter higher education and do very well in higher education. It started by developing a policy agenda for education, and this is unique. And let me tell you a little bit about that because it's critical. Abu Dhabi feels that in order to overhaul education, in order to improve education, you have to take a holistic look at the education system. And we started this 2008 by developing a holistic education policy agenda that identified the objectives of the education system that we are looking for and the kinds of outputs that we want in the medium term and long term in terms of the skills in our students. We then proceeded to develop policies in different policy pillars, ranging from the learning environment to the curriculum and pedagogy, all the way to the operating model and governance of the education system. By having a policy agenda that brings together and addresses all the components of the education system, we feel we are addressing the problem from its heart. Because we feel that in order you can change the curriculum, but you must then have the right teachers, the right faculty to impart this curriculum on the students. You also must have the right learning environment. You must have the right governance system. So we took a holistic look at our education system. We started the overhaul process in 2009-10 academic year, and we started by overhauling the system at the bottom. So we started with KG through grade 3 in the first year, major overhaul, new curriculum, teachers that meet our qualification standards, school leaders being developed to impart the new education curriculum and pedagogy. And so the answer to the question is you become an education hub not because you want to become an education hub. You become an education hub because you have excellence in your education system.
Other countries such as Qatar are aggressively recruiting foreign educational talent to try to build their own educational hubs. How are you dealing with this competition, and what does Abu Dhabi have to offer that is unique?
In education, we don't think of competition with other nations. We think of how we can work together. Education is about openness, education is about transparency, education is about seeking the truth. And we do that collectively. We do that by working with each other. At one end of the spectrum, none of us has the critical mass to develop the kind of knowledge-based societies that we want to develop. So we must work together. We must work together in terms of research and development, identifying the key areas that will benefit the region and each country as well. We often think of education as separate from research. We cannot do that. Research and development and education go hand in hand. And so we must find ways to work together. We are by no means in competition with each other. Qatar has done beautifully in terms of transforming its education system in a very short period of time. And I think we have done the same in Abu Dhabi, and others have done it. Saudi Arabia is investing heavily now in terms of reforming its education system. And frankly, it's delightful to see.
Who's the target client base for educational customers?
Everybody that lives in Abu Dhabi deserves. In fact, we feel that we have a moral obligation, a moral responsibility to ensure that education is accessible to all those that live in Abu Dhabi. and we made it a priority in our K-12 strategic plan. We also made it a priority in our higher education strategic plan. Access is not just an issue of seats. Access is an issue of affordability. So one of our strategies is to ensure that private education is affordable to all those that live in Abu Dhabi.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure.